Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from November 21st to the 27th, and this was the week of Thanksgiving. So I used this kit from Pink Diamond Planner Co. because I spent Thanksgiving weekend in New York City, so it just felt fitting. It's a nice fall New York City kit. So basically all that happened this week was Thanksgiving, which was definitely stressful and too dramatic, like it always is. It just doesn't have to be that difficult. And I also was officially offered one of the two jobs I was interviewing for, but unfortunately it was not the one that I was really, really hoping for. I did tell myself that I would be happy with either one of these jobs, but it was still a little bit stressful just because the job that I was offered, they needed someone to start ASAP, and they needed me to make a decision very quickly, and I wanted to hold out to hear from the other company. And I was even looking online for advice on what to do when you're in a situation like that, and it was stressing me out even more because I was getting mixed messages. Some sites told me to tell the company that I was, very excited and really appreciate the offer, but I just need a little more time because I'm waiting to hear back from another company. And then other sites said, don't do that because then there's a good chance they'll pass you up for a different applicant just because now they know that they're not your first choice. So yeah, I didn't know what to do, and my style in everything is just avoid confrontation at all cost. I really don't like it. I need to work on that, and I've gotten a little better at it sometimes, but I feel like, again, I'm sort of regressing back into just hiding from confrontation, even when I know that's the worst thing for me. Other than that, I feel like there wasn't much else going on this week, and the base of my spread is pretty straightforward, just deco on the top. My sidebar is the same as always, and I just marked Thanksgiving and the job offer, and that's about it. So getting into the day by day, starting with Monday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and this Sticky Perks phone was that I yet again called the dermatologist trying to get an appointment. Sorry for my big head. I swear I'm going to work on that once I'm all caught up. I'm going to really try to not have my head in every single frame of the video. But anyway, I had constantly been calling this one dermatologist because she took my insurance, and it's so hard to find doctors who take my insurance, and she had just rave reviews. And since I'm going for my face, I want someone who's going to be extra careful. So I did that. Then with a squared off box and this happy emoji, I marked that my car passed inspection, and I was so happy. And this car I'm talking about is my car, the Volkswagen, because I'll try to keep this brief, but basically because we were driving up to New York City, we needed a car that had space, and my boyfriend has two cars. One is his personal car, which just had some repairs that needed to be done, so it was just not drivable. And then his other is a work car, which is a smart car, and it doesn't have any space for us to we had to bring a lot of stuff with us to New York City, so the only option was my car. And if you don't know anything about the New Jersey Turnpike, is you don't want to be caught with an out-of-date inspection sticker. Just there's cops everywhere waiting to pull you over, and they will gladly give you a speeding ticket plus an inspection sticker ticket. So, and if you're wondering why I haven't inspected my car in so long, a couple reasons. Number one, I had a check engine light issue for a while, and your car will not pass inspection in New Jersey if you have a check engine light on. So that was a big reason. Then COVID happened, and then also I have severe anxiety when it comes to the DMV, so I just put it off until I really couldn't anymore. And we were leaving that... When were we leaving? I think that Wednesday, and the only day I had to go was Monday, so it just had to be done, and I was just so relieved that my car passed. Then under that, with a piece of a label and this gas sticker from Sticky Perks, I marked that I got gas. And then while I was there, I was like, screw it, I'll get my free Wawa, because if you didn't know, for the months of November and December, Wawa is giving free coffee out on Tuesdays, but sometimes they send you the reward on Mondays. So I got my free coffee, and I marked that with a Carly Plans coffee mug. Then under that, with a fancy label and this Once More with Love shopping basket, I marked that I went to Walmart and Lidl looking for groceries. They were just the two closest places to the DMV, and I was hoping that the Walmart was a super Walmart, but it wasn't, so they didn't have any cauliflower, and I was able to get that at Lidl, fortunately, and then just go on my merry way. There were only like 4 heads left to choose from, so luckily 2 out of the 4 were usable. With another fancy label and this dish soap sticker from Sticky Perks, I marked that I did the dishes. With an appointment label and a Carly Plans TV, I marked that we watched Nope. And then with another skinny label and this emoji, this nervous emoji, I marked that I was just feeling very, very nervous because I had an interview the next day. It was my round 2 interview for the job I really wanted. So moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked with this nightmare sticker from Once More with Love was that I was just having more stress dreams. And I don't know about you, but my stress dreams are very like realistic. Like I was having dreams that I was late for the interview, or I took the interview still in my pajamas and I looked like a mess, like just a bunch of dreams like that. With a skinny label and this just like makeup deco, I marked that I got ready. Then with a half box and this interview Coffee Monsters Co. sticker, I marked that I did the interview over Teams, and it just made me want the job even more. They just made it sound so ideal, so exactly what I wanted, which is dangerous because then you can like get really attached to the idea of a job and you just never know. Like for me, the interview did go really well, and I say that with confidence. The interview went really well and it sounded like I was going to get to the next round, but you just never know because the next person who interviews just might be more qualified than you, and that's really all there is to it. But the women I interviewed, I could tell that they liked me. So, you know, I don't know. I'm usually not very confident about things, but like this interview went really well. So that actually added to my stress because my other interview went really well and I honestly didn't want, like, I just wanted this job and that was it, but whatever, life is life. Under that, with a half box and this vacuum from the GP studio, I marked that I did the litter and vacuumed. With an appointment label and this pumpkin paper Kotera that I got off a variety sheet that I've just been saving, and she just matched this kit too perfectly, I marked that I planned. And then with a piece of washi and this Instagram icon, I marked that I made a post in Procreate for my boyfriend's job. He runs their Instagram and he needed something festive, so I was able to put something together for him last minute. I wish he hadn't asked me last minute, but whatever. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with a squared off box and this Munchkin chopping up vegetables was that I cooked cauliflower gratin from scratch, which is like my favorite thing at Thanksgiving, but I haven't made it in 6+ years, maybe even 7, just because Thanksgiving with my family has been like a weird thing. I maybe made it 6 years ago. I'm not sure, but definitely 5 to 6 years, I definitely haven't made it. With another little strip and this star-eyed munchkin, I marked that it came out so well, and I was so happy because I didn't really measure the cheese very carefully, and I was like sort of rushing and I was out of practice, but it just came out so well. I actually made like a small practice portion and then the big portion because I wasn't even going to bother taking it to Thanksgiving if it didn't taste good. Then with a squared off box and a pumpkin paper Kotera packing, I marked that I packed. With a squared off box and a pumpkin paper Kotera making cookies, I marked that I then went to Joe's and had to make chocolate chip cookies, not from scratch, but still, and mashed potatoes. With an appointment label and this Stella Bow Sticker Co. car, I marked that we drove to New York City. With a squared off label and this McDonald's Sticky Perks sticker, I marked that we went to McDonald's and it sucked. The French fries were freezing cold, and also it was like the most expensive McDonald's in the area, which I know sounds dumb because like McDonald's is cheap, but like if you're gonna charge more for the same thing, at least be good at it, you know? And then the final thing on Wednesday with a squared off label and I think this is a Stella Bow Sticker Co. Electric guitar. I marked that the acoustic guitar was already out. Long story short, my boyfriend's younger brother is insistent on bringing the stupid acoustic guitar to every single family event, even to the pool. and play it and sing at the top of his fucking lungs, and I hate it, but whatever. I'm Scrooge. I'm a party pooper. My bad. They all love it, so like I should go fuck myself, but you know, it was already out. Evening 1, it was out. Yeah, anyway, moving on to Thursday. The first thing I marked with a fancy label in this worry munchkin is that everyone was sick. And I complained about this on Instagram just every single time I see these kids. One of us or both of us ends up deathly ill, and everybody was sick. And even my boyfriend's sister went to bed she was already asleep when we got there Wednesday night because she was so sick and she had lost her voice. And both of the kids had this disgusting cough. Spoiler alert, I caught it. With another fancy label and this macaroni and cheese deco, I marked Thanksgiving. With a fancy label and this do not disturb, I'm a mess right now sticker, I marked that I had to get out of their little apartment for a little while, and they live right on, what is it? Don't make fun of me. I think it's the Hudson River, the one between Jersey and New York. They live right on the water, so I took a break. I had to get the brownies we made out of our car. We left them overnight, and I used that as an excuse to just go walk by the water, and then I sat for like 30 minutes just taking in the sun and the views, and it was very peaceful, so I needed that. Then with an appointment label and these munchkins reading a book, I marked that I played with the kids, and actually my boyfriend's niece wanted to come with me to the car, but I think her dad was like, no, Ansley needs a break, like, you know, he got it, so there was that. With a skinny label and this fancy drink sticker, I'm not sure where I got it, I marked that my boyfriend's brother-in-law made us espresso martinis. It's the first one I ever had one. Low-key, they're kind of gross, but also I kind of get it. Whatever, it was nice having a fancy drink. With a half box and these emojis at the table, I marked that it was dinner time, and that was pretty much it for Thursday. Moving on to Friday with a fancy label and this like fight me munchkin, I marked that I was very overstimulated. Just like everything was too much for me. There was too much stuff everywhere. There were too many people everywhere. There was just too much going on, and I needed a break, but like I couldn't read. I didn't know this about me. I knew I couldn't read when people were talking, but I didn't know that I couldn't do Sudoku when people were talking. And I should like show you my Sudoku book. Every single page is nearly perfect. And I think there's one or two where I missed like one number and had to scribble it out. But the Sudoku puzzle I did while in the room with everybody looks like an insane person did it. I can't do it when I'm around other people. Like I just couldn't focus. So I brought my Sudoku puzzle for nothing. I thought that was going to be my way out of watching soccer all weekend. But yeah, I couldn't focus, and it wasn't fun. There were just too many people screaming. With a skinny label and these Sticky Perks pillows, I marked that I took a nap because that was really the only other thing I could do. With a fancy label and these little kid munchkin whatever sticker, I think this is like a back to school sticker, but who cares? I marked that I played with the kids again. Then with a skinny label and this Kevin emoji, I marked that we watched an episode of The Office. We watched one of my favorite episodes because Joe's been trying to convince his dad that it's funny, but his dad thinks that Michael Scott is like a pain in the ass. Also, sorry if you heard that. I just hit my phone with my hand. I apologize. But anyway, he was laughing the whole time. He still refuses to admit that The Office is good, but everybody loved having a break from watching whatever the kids wanted to watch. With a half box and this Tara eating a burger, I marked that we went to this place called Treadwell for dinner, and it's just like stereotypical bar food, but it was good. With a skinny label and this tennis emoji, I marked that we played ping pong, Joe and I, because they had 2 ping pong tables in the restaurant, so that was really nice, and he loves ping pong. I'm not very good at it, but you know, I sucked it up, and I figured the tennis sticker worked because, you know, table tennis. Then with a skinny label and this Piper Paper Co. Nike sneaker, I marked that we walked for a little bit just to digest, even though it was freezing. And then with another little label and this Netflix sticker, I marked that we watched Across the Universe. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with a fancy label and this shushing munchkin was that I accepted the job. I just got an email asking if I had made a decision, and I just spur of the moment said like, yes, I accept, and that stressed me out too because I was still waiting to hear back from the job I interviewed for on Tuesday, but you know, is what it is. With a skinny label and another Fight Me munchkin, I marked that I was just feeling really irritable because I'm going to try to keep this brief because I'm running out of time, but I always bring Joe's brother-in-law Red Bulls, but I only had 5 left total. Like, I didn't realize, I thought I had another case, so I gave him 2 and I had 2, and then one day I had an extra. So I was officially out of Red Bull, and I was just going to go walk to 7-Eleven to buy one. But then his brother-in-law was like, oh, I'm going to go to Target. You could get Red Bull there. So long story short, it ended up being this long trip to try to get a Red Bull. And joke's on me. Well, I was told that it would be more expensive, but joke's on me. There's a little convenience store right outside their apartment building, and the Red Bull was there. They had sugar-free, and it was cheaper than Target and 7-Eleven. So could have saved myself a lot of grief, but it's fine. I got a walk-in. Then with a squared off box, and this is from I think an Apple Blossom Prince Co. kit, this little wallet. I marked that I walked with Joe's mom and sister to this shop called Click, which was right across the street from where we were having dinner. It was very cool, very New York. All of the clothing was a small, extra small, or extra, extra small. Like very, very just like, what am I doing here? With a fancy label and an emoji with a little tray, I marked that we went to have dinner at this place called the Odeon, which was way too fancy for me. Just way too fancy. Fries were $12 and all the food was weird. With a skinny label and a Nike sneaker, we walked back. I marked that we walked back. Then with another skinny label and a Planning Roses car, I marked that we drove back to Philly. With a fancy label and a Carly Plans TV, I marked that we finished watching Nope. Then with another skinny label and a nightmare sticker, I marked that I had more stress dreams. Moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked with an appointment label and a Tara sleeping was that I slept in this morning. The squared off box and this munchkin from a freebie, I marked that I just bought so many stickers for like Cyber Monday and Black Friday. With a squared off box and an Olive Studio Olive sticker, I marked that we watched the challenge. Then with an appointment label and a Sticky Perks pizza slice, I marked that we got Coco's. Oh yeah, now I remember where that is. That's actually really good pizza. It's very like New Jersey, New York, classic normal pizza, which is rare to find done well, at least in this area, as far as I've found, and I've tried a lot of pizza. Then with a half box and a stick with a Plan Co. girl on FaceTime, I marked that I heard from my old boss, aka the person I nannied for the longest. Love her. And then finally with a fancy label and this Walmart bag, I marked that we went to Walmart to get cat supplies and Red Bull. I needed cat food litter and tons of Red Bull because it was all gone. But yeah, that is everything for this spread. Sorry it was a little rushed. I don't know why I only had, I don't know, I just didn't have as much footage as I thought I did, so I, sort of had to talk quickly, but hopefully that wasn't too annoying. Also, I think I'm going to do a haul of all the stickers I got for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I've never done that before, but I'm going to try it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.